This is Pokemon Vintage White. It's a modified version of Pokemon White made by Not Suicune. The goal of the game is to make a pretty traditional ROM hack that makes the game a lot harder with challenging trainer fights and higher encounter variety. The twist, compared to the classic ROM hacks such as Renegade Platinum or Blaze Black, is that only Pokemon from Gens 1, 2, and 3 are in the game. Suicune achieved this by giving a ton of Pokemon typing, base stat, and moveset changes to make them all interesting and viable. This way, there might be less Pokemon available in total, but because all Pokemon are good, the variety is actually quite high. This makes the game perfect for a hardcore nuzlocke challenge. Pause now for the full rule set. Trying it out, it became obvious that this was going to be one of the hardest ROM hacks I've ever played. Some of the endgame is brutal and makes you face seemingly insurmountable hurdles, like Jirachi, Gut Slacking, and Rayquaza. On my 20th attempt, I was able to beat this challenge after it forced me to come up with some of the most complex strategies I've ever used, including one that let me kill a gym leader's full team in 2 turns, and one where I deliberately deleted all but one of my Pokemon's moves. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm PokemonChallenges, I'm probably the best nuzlocker in the world, and this is how I beat the Vintage White hardcore nuzlocke. Let's look at the new starters. Torchic and Combusken's abilities have been changed to Speed Boost, which turns into Sheer Force when they evolve into Blaziken. The Swampert line gets access to Swift Swim, and Rain Teams are a pretty legitimate strategy in this game. And then there's Sceptile, who gets a secondary Dragon typing, as well as the Technician ability and access to Dual Chop. Pretty spicy combo. I've been running Blaziken almost exclusively on previous attempts, but because you can encounter another starter after the first gym, I decided to go with Trico this time. My first encounter is Caterpie on Route 1. Butterfree has buffed special attack and speed, making it a great early game pickup, especially with the Compound Ice Sleep Powder combo. I delay my Route 2 encounter, as this is where I will be catching a second starter once I unlock Shaking Grass. I fish up Lotad in Striaton City, which is also amazing early game, as I can evolve Lombre as soon as I have a gym badge with a Waterstone from Wellspring Cave's Dust Clouds. Sure hope this doesn't get crit, am I right guys? I also catch a Spoink in the Dream Yard, which gets an additional Dark typing in Vintage White. The first gym is kind of a joke, and I breeze through the fire team. I catch a Torchic in the Shaking Grass of Route 2, a Sandshrew in Wellspring Cave, and a Marill on Route 3, as well as a Tyrogue outside of Nacreon City. Vintage White allows me to choose my Hitmon freely by making Tyrogue a Stone evolution. I go for Hitmontop with a Shiny Stone, as I want to test the Technician Hitmontop on this attempt. The first, truly challenging fight of the game is Lenora. At first glance, her team does not look that threatening. It's just a Kecleon after all. Oh, those are some very buffed stats. And it's part ghost type. Okay, it's got adaptability. Okay, yeah, I get it. Even her lead Pokemon Lickitung is quite dangerous, as its Eviolite makes it impossible to kill quickly. If I don't kill it in time, it will blow up one of my team members with Self-Destruct. But I also can't just use my most powerful Pokemon, as I need those for the rest of the fight. The best balance here is for me to lead with Sandslash holding a Chelan Berry. This item reduces the enemy's first normal type attack by 50%, so Lickitung just blowing up on me seems a lot less dangerous. After rock smashing it down, I know Lenora will want to send out her Girafarig. I brought Butterfree as my Girafarig counter, but there's a problem. The level cap makes it so that Butterfree will not be able to outspeed Girafarig. Since there are no EVs in Vintage White, I need to come up with a different solution to give Butterfree the speed that it needs. In my hardcore Nuzlocks, it is legal to overlevel the cap mid-gym fight, so I brought Butterfree as close to level up as possible before the fight, and equipped it with an XP share. This way Butterfree levels up as Sandslash takes out Lickitung and can now outspeed the Giraffe. Silverwind 2-hit KOs Girafarig, and Butterfree only has to dodge 1 crit. In comes the second biggest threat of the fight, Vigoroth. This Pokemon not only has the move Retaliate, which has double power if it's used after a teammate was KO'd, but also holds a normal gem to boost Retaliate's power even further. It's difficult to find a Pokemon that can tank this amount of damage. However, another Chelan Berry will help me take this. Sort of. Azumarill can switch in here, but because it has to hold a Chelan Berry, it is promptly put to sleep by Vigoroth. The danger of the powered up Retaliate, however, has been neutralized. I assess the situation and decide that simply switching out would lose me way too much tempo. I get a lucky wake up and stay in for another turn after, despite it risking a death by crit because I simply need to get damage done on the Vigoroth. Switching Azumarill back in after is not really an option, and I need to get as much value out of it as I can now. My risky play pays off here, as I live on 2 HP and get to KO Vigoroth with an Aqua Jet. Very good RNG. And here comes the Kecleon. Luckily, this run I have one of the better answers with my own buffed Gen 3 Pokemon, Spoink. The additional dark typing and Eviolite makes it tank Kecleon's moves, and I can simply use Kecleon's buffed attack stat to my advantage by using Foul Play. Lenora's ace is slacking, but this one doesn't have Truant. Wait, it has Slow Start? That's so much worse. I easily two-shot it with Hitmontop, and Lenora brings out her last Pokemon, Persian. This Persian has a pretty cute strategy with Lagging Tail and Switcheroo. Lagging Tail makes you always go last, so if it switches this item onto one of my team members, that Pokemon basically loses its speed stat and held item. The flaw in this strategy is that, well, it's holding a Lagging Tail, and is therefore slower than my Hitmontop. I take the kill and earn myself a victory over this basic badge holder. Generally, this part of the game is one of the hardest in Gen 5 Nuzlocke. You'll leave Lenora's gym after what is sometimes a lossy battle, and pretty much only have one more encounter to catch in the desert before you face the next gym leader. However, Vintage White adds 2 more encounters here. The area outside of Pinwheel Forest where I caught Tyrogue that is normally a shared location with the inside is named not Pinwheel Forest, and is therefore a unique encounter area. Additionally, Vintage White gives the player access to the Gen 3 fossils in the desert, which you can then revive as your Nacrean City encounter. I pick up Volbeat, Anorith, and Krabby, the latter being one of the most important encounters in the game. Steel Water is an unbelievably good typing combination and will carry a lot from this point forward. I actually got my Pinwheel Forest encounter last year, because had I not gotten the Krabby on Route 4, I would have fished for it in Pinwheel Forest as well. Time for Burgh, and to show off some of the double battle strategies that this game has to offer. The Castalia City Gym Leader leads off with a buff duo of Volbeat and Illumise. I immediately put Volbeat to sleep with Butterfree. Illumise Quiver dances up, but my Armaldo is untouched and can do massive damage with Rock Slide. Illumise is now faster than everything on the field. I could protect Armaldo by using Rage Powder with Butterfree here to draw all potential attacks towards it. However, in this position I need to take some initiative and with it some risks. If I can take out both Pokemon here with a Tailwind behind me, I can start doing massive damage to Burgh's backline. I get unlucky as Volbeat wakes up on the first possible turn and heals itself. I set up a Tailwind with Butterfree to double Armaldo's speed while throwing out another Rock Slide. Rock Slide takes on Illumise and Burgh sends out his Yanmega. I didn't realize Yanmega was a Gen 1, 2, or 3 Pokemon. What is this? I'll write a YouTube comment about this for some reason. And chill out, it evolves from a Gen 2 Pokemon, okay? Thanks to Tailwind, Armaldo outspeeds this terrifying ancient bug and kills it with a Rock Tomb as Butterfree puts Volbeat right back to sleep. Next up is Dustox, which will be a lot harder to kill thanks to its added multiscale ability. Butterfree doesn't have any damaging moves to break multiscale, so the best play is to simply put Dustox to sleep and have Armaldo do more damage. My sleep RNG continues to be terrible, or maybe Volbeat is just a light sleeper, who knows. It wakes up on the first possible turn again and kills Butterfree for Attempt 20's first death. Alright. All in all though, this was a risk I was voluntarily taking to get myself into an advantageous position, and Butterfree is definitely expendable at this point. I know that the Pokemon in Burgh's backline, namely Heracross and Scizor, have a weak matchup against Combusken, so I sent it in to take Butterfree's place. However, I also know that Pluck alone from Combusken will not be able to kill Heracross, so I need to set up a bulk up first. Volbeat's heal order is given priority by Prankster over my sped up Armaldo, and saves it from dying to Rock Tomb. As my Tailwind peters out, Dustox gets back to full HP with Black Sludge, meaning that multiscale is now active again. I decide that the Dustox doesn't pose a big threat to my team right now, and that the best course of action is focusing down the other side of the field. This is a common technique in double battles that I call pinning. You focus on killing one side of the opponent's field while leaving a Pokemon with low damage potential on the other side. Pinning the Volbeat allows me to kill it through another heal order. Armaldo takes some damage from Dustox and Burgh sends out a Scizor. Armaldo is a little too threatened by Scizor, and I switch to Hitmontop to take the incoming hit. Combusken is relatively safe, and I set up a second bulk up. Fake Out from Hitmontop breaks Scizor's sturdy ability as Combusken takes a kill with +2 Flame Wheel. The only risk now is Dustox attacking Combusken too many times, but it luckily targets Hitmontop on this turn, giving me an easy 1 KO on Heracross the turn after. I can now easily beat the Dustox in a 2v1 situation and win the battle. Butterfree's not that bad of a loss here, whatsoever. After beating Bianca and Sharon again, the region opens up to me with tons of encounters, and these encounters are brought to you by NordVPN, the VPN service with over 5,200 servers in 59 different countries for you to connect to. Are you serious, dude? 10% by the way, man. That was the one 10% encounter that was not insane here. So tragic, dude. This is almost as frustrating as being locked out of content from your favorite streaming sites because you're in the wrong region. At least I have NordVPN for that. There's 5,000 plus servers in 52 different countries that let you access any kind of content that your streaming service might have to offer. But that was the one bad encounter here. Okay, whatever, man. Let's just get a fossil. I'll take a Kabuto. I will say, its protective shell does remind me of the way that NordVPN protects you from people who run public Wi-Fi networks seeing what kind of domains you're connecting to on your devices. Alright, Mareep, I'll take it, I'll take it. Oh yeah, it's static. Okay, that's actually really good. That's the expected result here. Although if your NordVPN purchase isn't the expected result, you can always use their 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. Okay, let's get the shaking grass encounter here. Totodile maybe? Cyndaquil, I'll take it. If it's adaptability, it's actually quite good, right? Actually, pre-damage Blaze does more damage than adaptability. Maybe Blaze is actually better? What's definitely better is the blazing fast internet connection you get with Nord links. Okay, let's fish for our final encounter here, and it's... Okay, nice. That's my first ever Magikarp in this game. That's actually an insane encounter. Almost as insane as the deal you get with NordVPN with my link or code in the description. That's nordvpn.com/PokemonChallenges. Thanks again for Nord for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoy. The Mareep is actually the most notable encounter here, as it has the static ability. Static can paralyze enemy Pokemon on contact, but I actually don't care about that shit at all. What I really care about is the overworld effect. Leading with a static Pokemon increases the likelihood of encountering electric types. This means I can manipulate my encounters on future routes to have much higher odds of getting specific overpowered electric types that I may want. There's one in particular that, we'll get to that. Elesa is another double battle gym leader with some very broken Pokemon, specifically the Pidgeot. The No Guard, Hurricane, Thunder, Pidgeot. Or as I like to call it, Zapdos on bath salts. My lead for this fight will be Sandslash and Kingler. But why am I using Kingler for this fight? Literally every single Pokemon on Elisa's team can one-shot it. Well, that's precisely why I'm using it. You see, if the enemy AI in Pokemon sees a kill in a double battle, it will always go for that killing move. So I can use Pokemon that the AI sees a kill on to bait it into attacking one side of the field, while the other side does uncontested damage. Here's the most basic example of this. I know the AI sees a kill on Kingler and will never touch my Sandslash. I can simply protect Kingler and use Earthquake with Sandslash to do massive damage to Elisa's two lead Pokemon. The turn after, the AI still only wants to use its lethal electric moves on Kingler, and I can fire off another attack with Sandslash to kill Minoon as Sceptile tanks the quad resisted move. This now baits out the dreaded Pidgeot, but I can use a similar strategy to outmaneuver this menace as well. The Stab, 120 base power Thunder, and Hurricane deal devastating damage to anything on my team, so I can only pivot a few times. If my Pokemon were to get too low on HP, I would not be able to reliably predict which one of its moves it will go for, because if the AI sees a kill with multiple moves, it will choose one randomly. I protect Sandslash and switch out Sceptile for the only Pokemon that resists both of Pidgeot's moves, Ampharos. I can now switch Kingler in for Sandslash, who barely takes less than 50% from Hurricane, and can now bait Thunder, all while Ampharos is doing damage to Pidgeot. I can't protect with Kingler because Hurricane confused it, but another switch to Sandslash gives Ampharos the time to take down the big bird. Elisa's next Pokemon is Electrode, which is a Steel type among other buffs, which, well, you'll see later. For now, I actually have some pretty solid ways of dealing with the two Steel types left on her team. I swap out both Sandslash and Ampharos and bring in Hitmontop and Ludicolo. Ludicolo tanks the Helping Hand boosted Earth power masterfully. Notice how I've largely been able to ignore the Plusle because it's really not been doing much besides spamming Helping Hand. Again, I've been using a pinning strategy and focusing my resources on the side of the field with the most damage potential. I break Electrode's Focus Sash and flinch it using Ludicolo's Fake Out, and take it down with Hitmontop's Technician boosted Low Sweep. Ludicolo takes Plusle out of its misery of cheering for a dying Pokemon, Hitmontop takes out the Magnezone as well, and I 2v1 the Manic Trick for an easy Deathless Bolt badge. So guys, I ordered this Elesa figurine on the internet. It was like $100. It was really expensive. It was a cool figurine, right? But look at this bullshit, right? I got this mason jar here, and it like doesn't even like. How am I supposed? What is this? Fucking hell. Driftveil Drawbridge is a vital encounter area because I can get a Pidgeot of my own. As Pidgeotto is also part electric, I can greatly increase the chance to get it by leading with a static Ampharos. However, it only has a 50% chance of having the No Guard ability. The one I catch instead has Quick Feet, an ability that boosts your speed if you have a status condition. This will come in handy as well, but obviously not having the guaranteed Thunders and Hurricanes that my opponents are going to have stings a little. I pick up a Haunter in Cold Storage, which evolves into Shadow Tag Gengar. Pretty big nerf for Gengar and Nuzlocke to not have Levitate, as it's one of the best pivots in the game otherwise. Horsey is my fishing encounter in Driftveil City, and I can encounter a Pineco in place of Fungus on Route 6. Okay guys, I need to make a quick intermission here. This was attempt 20, mostly because this game is pretty damn hard, but a lot of my wipes were not exactly worthy of probably the best Nuzlocker in the world. You see, the optional trainers in this game have really powerful teams as well, so the optimal strat is to just avoid them. But, well, just see for yourself. Yeah, I don't think I did that right. Slash, I don't know if that works. Yeah, chat, I think I'm gonna die here. Yeah, no, alright, I'm not gonna lie, Electrode, you kinda have to one-shot this or we lose, so good luck. Oh, right, this is grass type. I forgore. We got some valuable info. It sucks that I wiped to some rando fucking avoidable optional who the only reason to pass was to get the payback TM. That's a little bit unfortunate. I don't know why I did that. Okay. This is gonna be a tough one, chat. A triple battle. Oh god. Have fucking mercy. Okay. Oh my god! I was gonna use that Banette. Nice. That hits everything. Arnoldo's dead, right? Yep. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Now it's 6 mons. I'm just fucked. Lost the run to not jumping off of the thing. That was great. Don't run into the optional. The only reason to dodge this guy is to get this item, which I think is... dude, I don't even know why I do this shit to myself. Pattern. Well, this is gonna be a wipe, boys. That's fine, I wanted to play on the new patch anyway. Luckily, I managed to, well, walk correctly this attempt, I guess, and make it to the 5th gym. Clay's gym has, inspired by Emerald Kaizo, permanent sandstorm, meaning that all the rock types in here enjoy a boosted special defense, as well as ability synergies and some chip damage on my own Pokemon. I can get through the gym trainers quite easily, but Clay is possibly the hardest gym leader in the game. With an absurdly buffed Duck Trio, a terrifying Head Smash Aggron, and a fucking Regirock. Luckily, this attempt is blessed with some of the better Clay answers in Fortress, Hitmontop, and Sandforce Sandslash. Clay leads with an Intimidate Tyranitar. I know Sandforce Sandslash can one-shot with Earthquake, but not at -1 attack. I can circumvent the Intimidate by leading with Gyarados instead. Gyarados baits a Thunder Punch from Tyranitar, and I can swap in Sandslash for free. Clay sees a super effective Power Whip with his Armaldo and sends it in next. Fortress can pretty safely 1v1 here, and his Aggron is up. Stab Head Smash will do enormous damage, even to Pokemon that resist it. I stall with Protect for an additional round of Leftovers recovery to get Fortress out of Head Smash kill range, which will increase the chance of Aggron using Metal Burst on my switch to Sandslash. Sadly, this play does not pay its dividends, as Clay chooses the Rock move anyway, and Sandslash takes devastating damage. I can KO with Earthquake now, but his Rock Grass Sudowoodo is about to spam even more stab recall moves on my team. Fortunately, due to Sandslash's massive defense stat, it is only in range for Wood Hammer to kill, and I can pivot to Volbeat relatively safely. I need to do this because right now, none of my Pokemon can KO the Sudowoodo from full HP. I bait a Head Smash and chip the Sudowoodo with U-Turn, setting up for a kill with my incoming Kingler. The Crab hits a 95% accurate Meteor Mash, shattering Sudowoodo into pieces, and bringing in the main threat of the fight, Doug Trio. Normally, Kingler would be dead in the water because of Arena Trap here, but because I knew Doug Trio would be coming out after Sudowoodo, I equipped Kingler with a Shed Shell, allowing me to switch out for Gyarados. The Dark Trio has a Focus Sash, so I can't want to KO it, which is why Gyarados has a Rocky Helmet equipped. Dark Trio has a 50% chance to either go for Earthquake or Close Combat here. If Dark Trio chooses Close Combat, it makes contact with Gyarados and the Rocky Helmet deactivates the Focus Sash. I lose my second 50-50 of this fight, and Dark Trio Earthquakes. This isn't that bad, as Gyarados is at least still at full HP. For some reason, Dark Trio clicks Ice Shard instead of Close Combat here, avoiding contact with Gyarados and leaving it at 1 HP, with Gyarados now in Close Combat crit range. Outplayed, I guess. Tanking a second Ice Shard, Gyarados sends the trio back down underground, and Clay goes for his ace, Regirock. This thing is a demon, and I have no solid 1v1 answers to it. Because Sandslash is low health, I have to hope that Hitmontop can deal enough damage to this to set up for a Sandslash KO. I'm willing to sacrifice Top for the better of the run here, but I can still get lucky if Regirock Thunder Punches on the switch instead of using Rock Wrecker. I lose my third 50-50, and Hitmontop cannot 1v1 the Regirock. After a painful but necessary sacrifice, Sandslash can revenge kill the legendary and earn me my next gym badge. Losing Hitmontop not great, but this is one of the hardest fights in the game. One death here is insanely good, and being 2 deaths total past it is even better. This run is kind of fucking sick now. Chargestone Cave features the payoff for the static encounter earlier, which increases my chance to encounter the one electric type on this floor from 20% to 60%. Introducing the star of our show, please give a warm welcome to the most ridiculously overbuffed Pokemon I've ever seen in a Pokemon ROM hack. This is what Electrode stats normally look like. This is what they look like in Vintage White. Oh, Is that not enough? It's also part steel type, so it can actually switch into a ton of moves. Oh wait, it has lightning rod, so it can switch into even more moves and get a special attack boost. Oh, is that still not enough? Well, Electrode learns Zap Cannon in this game, which was changed from a coin flip move to a 140 base power, 100 accuracy move with recoil. So you have the equivalent of a Deoxys attack with immunities firing 140 stab moves at Pokemon. This Electrode can one-shot Pokemon with neutral damage. In fact, fuck it. Here's every single non-boss fight Pokemon Electrode one-shots this run. This broken electric ball isn't the only kind of ball I want to talk to you guys about though. Introducing this video's sponsor, Manscaped. Wait, never mind, wrong video. I want to talk to you guys about snowballs. The snowball effect is a common phenomenon in nuzlocks, and it's extremely important to keep in mind at any level of play. The way that a typical nuzlocke defeat will play out is that one mistake or bad RNG roll will lose you a Pokemon, which will result in you having to take a higher risk in a later fight, losing you another Pokemon, leading you to not have an answer to an enemy on another fight, and so on until you finally wipe because your options have become too limited. This is why it's so important to always play as attentively and carefully as possible, no matter how good your run looks. Let's see the effect in action on the trainers and plasma grunts in Charged Stone Cave. Starting with the inciting incident, a pretty fucking stupid Kingler death. My Kingler is facing off against Scientist Naoko's Cacturne here. I'm aware that this Cacturne has Destiny Bond. However, I'm not 100% aware of the Gen 5 AI mechanics, and I'm not sure if Destiny Bond at full HP is possible, as I've never seen it happen despite there being plenty of Destiny Bond users in this game. I take the risk, attack with Kingler, and yeah. I think you can guess what happens next. Yeah, it's kind of too late now, I kind of have to just click it. Well, that's just unlucky, isn't it, chat? It was bound to happen eventually if I never play around it. Fuck me, dude. I really should have accounted for it. This Kingler loss will lead me to have one of the scariest fights in the entire run, Plasma Grunt 2. He uses Ghost-type Pokemon and wields a Shadow-Tag Gengar of his own. This Shadow-Tag Gengar makes the fight risky to maneuver, because whatever baits the Gengar out also has to be able to 1v1 the Gengar. I do have one tool at my disposal that helps me a lot with my positioning in this fight, and that is Volt Switch Fortress. Killing a Pokemon with Volt Switch allows me to put whatever Pokemon I want in before the enemy sends out their Pokemon. It's kind of like playing on Switch mode if you understand how the Switch in AI works. I kill the Grunt's lead Banette with Volt Switch and get to choose my next Pokemon. I go to Ludicolo to bait out and 1v1 the Grunt's Lunatone. However, the Shadow-Tag Gengar makes this a lot more complicated. I can't simply take down the Lunatone with Ludicolo, as this will bait out the Gengar and Ludicolo will be trapped and unable to win. I have to use Ludicolo to damage Lunatone as much as I can, and then finish it off with something that can compete with Gengar. In this case, Sucker Punch Cacturne. I bring Lunatone to a bit over 50% HP, but need to stop damaging it. If Ludicolo kills Lunatone with a crit here, it's going to die to Gengar. There's another problem though. Lunatone has Hypnosis and Explosion. Explosion is super likely to happen at this HP, and Cacturne lives a non-crit. But if Cacturne switches into Hypnosis and sleeps for too long, it will lose to Lunatone and Gengar will sweep me. The safest play I can make here is intentionally waste turns with Ludicolo using Fake Out in order to bait Lunatone into hypnotizing me. If Ludicolo is asleep, Lunatone cannot use Hypnosis on the Cacturne switch in. After I achieve this, I switch to Cacturne and... fuck. I lived that, I think. Nerfed Explosion. Not if it crits. Dude, that's so unlucky, man! I guess that crit was meant for the Ludicolo, huh? This is the snowball effect in action. Shetshell Kingler would have handled the situation without any issues. I'm in deep trouble now, as my Gengar counter just got blown off the field. I still have one out though. I repeat the Lenora fight matchup with Grumpig into Kecleon, but Grumpig cannot deal with Gengar, so I, again, cannot kill here. I go back into Fortress and kill off Kecleon with a Volt Switch. My only hope is for Armaldo to 1v1 Gengar. This is not a safe 1v1 at all. Even with Armaldo's Citrus Berry, Gengar will kill with 2 Shadow Balls if it finds high enough damage rolls. Don't do it. Okay. It's a really high roll though. I think Armaldo's dead. Shadow Ball is 96 to 114. Half of the rolls kill me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go! We're still in this. The fucking snowball is so real right now, boys. And the brutality of Chargestone Cave does not end here, because I'm about to face N. Unfortunately, my plan of killing his Pidgeot with my Electrode falls flat, as N randomly switches to his own Electrode and gets a special attack boost. After a Volbeat U-turn pivot, to break the focus sash, I can deal with his Electrode with Sturdy Fortress using Bulldoze. Worryingly though, Pidgeot comes back in and is using a random move to kill my 1 HP Fori. I can't risk switching my best Pokemon into a coin flip to die here, so I'm forced to sack Armaldo for a clean switch. I make it out alive, however, and get to catch a few more encounters before Skyla, namely Jinx and Duskull. The game also gives me access to Choice Band and Choice Specs at this point. Okay, here's your promised 2-turn Gym Leader wipeout. Skyla is a triple battle. I can position Electrode in the middle and wipe out most of her team using Discharge. I just need a little bit of help from the sides. Gyarados holds a Walk-On Berry which weakens Electric-type moves, so I need Jinx to do some extra damage to kill it. Skyla's Crobat speed ties Electrode, so I need Sceptile's Fake Out to keep it from moving first and getting a kill. Now the important part is in what order do these Pokemon come out. Can Sceptile reach Arrow? And more importantly, can Jinx reach Gliscor? Everything else dies. Didn't crit Jinx, that's also really important. Not Gliscor on the right side. We win. We actually just straight up win. Don't crit the Jinx. We did not crit the Jinx. We win. Let's fucking go, baby. Let's fucking go! That's 2 turns. I beat the 6th Gym Leader in 2 turns. That's a TikTok. Defeating Sharon again gives me Surf and opens up a ton of new encounter areas. I catch Meditite with buffed attack and speed, a Battle Armor Tyranitar, a Regenerator, Water Dragon, Blastoise, a Fire Water Cargo, a Tentacle, a Crobat, a Wailord, a Swift Swim, Poliwrath, buffed attack, a Shell Armor Cloyster. Holy fuck, these are really good. On the following trainer fights, I get to use the star duo of this run, in Crobat and Electrode. Their types are synergistic because they both bait moves that the other resists and can basically tag team back and forth with blazing fast U-turns and Volt Switches. I enter the Isserus gym and get to demolish some trainers with Poliwrath and Electrode. There's a trainer with an Imposter Ditto here that I beat by deleting all of my moves except for Flash Cannon for my Electrode. This means that the opposing Ditto will only have Flash Cannon available and my Wailord can easily take it down. I can then reteach my entire moveset via the Move Relearner and TMs. Let's check out Bryson. I can manipulate the AI into targeting my pre-damaged Blaziken here, which will use Protect as Poliwrath safely sets up a Belly Drum, maxing out its attack stat. The fight is now only a matter of using Mach Punch on his fast and Drain Punch on his bulky Pokemon for a clean victory. In Dragon Spiral Tower, I pick up a Bagon encounter. Here I can use another pre-damaging strategy to sweep these back-to-back grunts that all sport legendary Pokemon. I damage Typhlosion to 1/3 HP before the fight to activate its Blaze ability. Together with Choice Specs, this means its Flamethrower will one-shot Jirachi, Registeel, and Regice. Next, I fight Bianca in the rain, and bring a team with Swift Swim water types and Electrode. A small misprediction in the AI makes me lose a pretty important Pokemon here though. With Electrode and Poliwrath out on the field, I decide to attack Bianca's Cradily with Poliwrath, as I believe it to be safe from Metagross. Metagross should always see a kill on Electrode with Earthquake and never one on Poliwrath. Unfortunately, Double Battle AI is a bit weird with moves that target its own Pokemon, and Bianca chooses to Zen Headbutt my Poliwrath, which brings it in range of the incoming Cradily Giga Drain. No. Why did it not... What? Nah, but why didn't he target the Electrode though? The rest of the fight goes smoothly at least, but I was definitely looking forward to using my best bulky water type a little bit more. Next up is Iris, and to be honest, this fight broke my brain a little bit. It's another triple battle and I just could not figure out a clean opening here. It took me literal hours to crack this one, and when I found it, oh man, was it satisfying. Take it away, Passion. This entire setup is basically all just set up to where nothing on her field right now sees a kill on anything but Typhlosion. They all have to attack Typhlosion this turn. So we can protect Typhlosion. We need to obviously U-turn the Flygon to chip it. And then we need to Volt Switch the Metagross. All this turn 1 is just to avoid Intimidate from Salamence on Cloyster and on Sceptile. That's the entire reason we're doing all of this. Everything should land on the Typhlosion slot this turn. Like that. Like that. And like that. That Earthquake is completely fine. That is all planned for. And U-turn chips the Flygon into Ice Shard range from Cloyster. Okay, and we have we've set up a kill. A triple kill, in fact. We will Blast Burn the Metagross. We will Ice Shard the Flygon. And we will Dual Chop the Salamence. Does Blast Burn really calculate as a single target move now that the other two Pokemon on their field are removed? That is the 8th badge question here. Typhlosion is pre-damaged to be in Blaze, so this kills through the Occa Berry. Blast Burn is a recall move in this game, and we get a kill. Alright, time to play this very aggressively now. I want to see Dragonite left or middle. I think it can't be middle. I think it can only be left. Excellent. That is so unbelievably good. Alright, Kingdra on the right, Blastoise in the middle. Dragonite sees a kill with extreme speed on Typhlosion and will always go for it. This is why we gave Typhlosion a Rocky Helmet, because the Dragonite has multi-scale, and the Rocky Helmet will chip off the multi-scale, and then Cloyster has a pretty good range to kill it. Typhlosion, you've been absolutely wonderful, but you have to die this turn. And extreme speed will obviously go before Ice Shard because it has higher priority. So the Rocky Helmet happens before the Ice Shard. And Sceptile will just protect this turn. The reason we want to sack Typhlosion here also, it sets us up for a kill the next turn, basically. Cloyster might also die this turn. There's the extreme speed. Kills the Typhlosion. Rocky Helmet. Off a multi-scale. Ice Shard. Hit the range. Hit it. That's insanely good. Okay. And now both of these attack the protecting Sceptile. Yeah? Yeah, okay! Okay, so we have a problem now. Does Cloyster Ice Shard into Kingdra Dragon Pulse kill the Blastoise? Dragon Pulse. Choice Specs. Yep. And then I'm pretty sure Sceptile outspeeds and kills her Kingdra, giving us the victory. Oh, I could also hit Kingdra with Pulse. That's true, yeah. Because it's a Pulse move, so it goes across the screen. Sceptile can be alright for this section. I admit it, boys. You know, sometimes hardcore Nuzlocks feel a little like an involved puzzle game. A riddle, if you will. Only with more adept complexity as the random encounters and undeterministic outcomes of RNG-dependent battles add growing and growing variables to your game. But as you go back and forth trying to find that one perfect solution, that one puzzle piece that fits, and you finally find it, it's just magnificent. Anyway, I lost my Salamence against this pissed random trainer because I couldn't read my calculator correctly. Why does that not kill? Oh my god, dude! Oh, shit. I catch an unknown on Route 10, spoiler alert, it's still dog shit, and decide to delay my Victory Road encounter. There are quite a few different areas with different encounters here, and I feel like I have everything I need for the Elite Four as well as N and Ghetsis, so I want to wait until the Elite Four in case anything goes wrong. Speaking of the Elite Four, here's my team for them. Smash the Fortress. Smash the Pidgeot. Smash the Medicham. Smash the Grumpig. Smash the Tyranitar. And of course, smash the Blaziken. First up is Grimsley. Fortress can 1v1 on the lead Weavile easily and brings out Houndoom. Battle Armor Tyranitar can't get crit, and a potential burn would be stopped by Tyranitar's Lumberry. Grimsley's Crobat is now looking to blow the Tyranitar to shreds with Aura Sphere, and I switch into Pidgeot. I poisoned Pidgeot before entering the Pokemon League to activate its Quick Feet ability and outspeed Crobat with a lethal Thunderbolt. The absolutely busted Medicham can now come in on a Stone Edge from Grimsley's Tyranitar. Medicham's base attack was buffed, but it retains its Pure Power ability that doubles its raw attack stat, making this Pokemon an absolute nuke. It can easily clear off T-Tar here and sweep the rest of Grimsley's team with Choice Band close combats. Chantal! Blaziken lights up her Sableye with 2 Sheer Force Booster Flare Blitzes and baits out Banette. I want to kill Banette with Fortress Volt Switch here to bring out T-Tar at the end of the interaction and bait Chantal into sending in her Zangos. In order to bring Banette as close to Volt Switch kill range as possible, it's optimal for me to Bug Buzz twice and Flash Cannon once. I successfully bait out the Zangos with Tyranitar. The only reason I wanted to do this is because Zangoose now sees a guaranteed kill with close combat on T-Tar and will never go for the Protect to set up the Toxic Orbits holding. This guarantees that we'll lower its special defense, hitting the incoming Pidgeot switch, which can then outspeed with Quick Feet and KO with Thunderbolt. Tyranitar comes back in on Chantal's Lunatone and can easily 1v1. In comes her Gengar, which is thankfully not Shadow Tag. I can switch to Medicham on this Orsphere and with Choice Scarf can score an easy KO. Chantal's final Pokemon is another absurdly buffed Kecleon, which T-Tar can come back in on one final time and crunch to death. I'm using the synergy between Medicham's and Tyranitar's typing a lot in this Elite Four. Tyranitar can bait the fighting moves for Medicham to switch into, and Medicham can bait the ghost or flying moves for Tyranitar to switch into. I now move into probably the scariest fight in the league, Caitlyn. Drowsy actually has obscenely buffed defenses in this game and can wear an Eviolite. Even Tyranitar has trouble chewing through its HP bar. T-Tar gets put to sleep by Dark Void and somehow looks disappointed in me? Luckily, leaving Tyranitar in on Drowsy is as safe as leaving a dog in a hot car. Remember guys, it's okay to leave your dog in a hot car. Nothing will happen. Tyranitar finally takes down Drowsy and Gallade is put into position to KO it with Superpower. Pidgeot is supposed to kill this, but I can't safely switch it in as a Superpower crit will kill it, and I have no other answers to Gallade. I decide to bring Blaziken in as a sacrifice to ensure a clean switch. This is why I did Grimsley and Chantal first, since Blaziken has now done its job and I won't be needing it for the rest of the run. Quick Feet Pidgeot retaliates and I switch Grumpig into the Jinx Psycho Boost. Because I will also not be needing Grumpig after this fight, I can use it extremely aggressively and play into multiple crits to get a high tempo triple kill. Her last Pokemon is Snorlax, which Medicham can rip apart with a close combat even after a Chris defense boost. Last up is Marshall, who gets completely swept by Medicham with a little help from Pidgeot, who gets sacrificed on the Flygon, the only Pokemon faster than Medicham. After some story bullshit, I need to build one last team for the final two fights of the game, N and Ghetsis. These are back-to-back, so no switching team members or held items in between. I do get healed after N, but anything that dies on N may not be used on Ghetsis. I'll be facing not only a Rayquaza on Ghetsis' team, but also a Gut Slacking on N's team for these fights. But I think I came up with a pretty decent strategy for them, so just enjoy the live commentary. Also, if you've made it this far in the video, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. What was that pathetic sound it just made? Comes in with the most insane entrance, breaks through a wall, boom, ooh, jet engine tail, brrr. He lands. That is an entrance cry, Reshiram. Take fucking notes. So the main part of our strategy for this fight is going to be to catch the Sacrum and add it to our team, so let's do it. Wait, what? Nah, I'm just kidding. I knew it was an unknown. All right, boys, two fights back to back. N and Ghetsis. You do get healed between them, but remember, whatever dies in this N fight is considered dead for the Ghetsis fight. And if only the Deadmon survive in the Ghetsis fight, then we lose. So, here's the problem. Crobat can Brave Bird this, but it's not a guaranteed kill at all. We need to do some chip damage here. We could have added a damage boosting item, but that means we couldn't have added the Payapa Berry. The Payapa Berry is going to be extremely important for the Ghetsis fight. So what we're actually going to do here is we're going to U-turn for some chip damage. This can only Sludge Bomb or Sleep Powder. So we can go into Electrode. We don't need Electrode for this entire fight. That's perfect. We do some more chip with Volt Switch. This is guaranteed Leaf Storm. It cannot use any other move. It can't Sleep Powder because it sees a kill with Leaf Storm. Go to Crobat to absorb that. I'm sorry, not with Leaf Storm, with Earth Power, of course. And then we kill with Brave Bird. The power of U-turn and Volt Switch. The beautiful thing about this setup is that this baits out the Blaziken, which just immediately gets Brave Birded as well. Chat, are you feeling it? The end of this goddamn game is so close. Dragonite, multi-scale in this game. This also has a Yachi Berry. Really hard to kill this. Let's break the multi-scale with U-turn and go into pawn number 1, Wailord. Wailord has a Rocky Helmet to deal some additional damage to this Dragonite, and we want Wailord to die here. We don't need it at all. The only reason this comes in is to give us a free switch to Sceptile and to do some damage to this with Rocky Helmet. That is the only reason Wailord is on this team. See ya, buddy. What a Chad. Alright, time for the starter to come in and be actually useful. It only took until the last fight of the game, second last fight, but the Sceptile pick finally paid off, I guess. Let's get some kills, boys. Dual Chop. Sceptile is Dragon Grass with Technician and Dual Chop in this game, which on paper sounds really amazing. It just doesn't do enough damage. Just not quite enough. Also, mine was modest, which is why it was a lot worse. Alright, Feraligatr comes in and sees a super effective Ice Fang. We will just Leaf Storm it, which is a recoil move in this game, by the way. 100% accuracy. Take some recoil. Alright, this is the main event of this fight. This is Slacking. Now, you might be saying, but Jan, Slacking is so easy to deal with. It has guts. There's only one way I've found to kill this. Let's do it. Sceptile, you've been really, really underwhelming, my friend. Have a good one. The low sweep, speed drop, or damage doesn't actually matter at all here. I just want Sceptile to die. Alright. The Pokemon to kill this will be none other than Fortress. Fortress has Sturdy, so it cannot be 1-hit KO'd. It will live on 1 HP. It's holding a Lumberry in case it gets burned by the Fire Punch that Slacking is currently winding up. We will click Counter to kill this. You might have noticed Fortress only has 2 moves, Counter and Explosion. And you might be asking yourself, why is that? It's time for the big reveal. The last Pokemon on N's team, and the reason that we brought this Fortress, is Imposter Ditto. So now he's copying this, and he only has Counter and Explosion. He can't explode because this is N's last Pokemon. He can only ever click Counter. All we have to do now is go to Kabutops and just spam Surf at it. Surf is a special move, so it cannot get countered. And that's the end fight. That's 2 deaths. Remember, I am 4 Pokemon against Ghetsis now. Let's round this one out, boys. We're going out with a classic combo. Ketchup and fries, hamburgers and tomatoes, Crobat and Electrode. So this Gengar has Shadow Tag, and it's got a Focus Sash. We can avoid both of those by just going U-turn here. We're faster, we will break the Focus Sash, and U-turn allows us to switch out of Shadow Tag. This is why we gave Crobat a Payapa Berry. So there's 2 moves that Gengar can typically use against Crobat because it sees both of them as doing the most damage. Thunderbolt or Psychic. We want it to use Thunderbolt because we're going to go into Electrode, which has the Lightning Rod ability, which if we get hit with an Electric type move, we'll absorb it and increase our special attack. The AI in this game sees if you have a damage reducing berry like Payapa Berry, which reduces the damage of Psychic type moves. The AI knows about this item, so it knows that Psychic will always deal less damage than Thunderbolt, which is why he will always Thunderbolt here. So we U-turn, and we set up a sweep for Electrode. Electrode is the most broken Pokemon in this game. It retains its massive speed stat of 140, and it's got 130 special attack, 130 attack. That is a crazy number. That is so insanely high. It also gets crazy moves. The Lightning Rod ability. It's insane. Electrode is about to kill 4 Pokemon on this team. We'll Earth Power this Gengar. Remember, it's not Levitate, it's Shadow Tag. Take some Life Orb damage. This Gyarados has a Walk-On Berry, which reduces Electric type damage. We will just kill it. This should bring out Doug Trio next, which is also crazy buffed in this game, by the way. But we are just more buffed than that. We'll just Energy Ball him here. And now this should bring out Metagross, which we can Earth Power and also kill. That is not Metagross. Oh, wait. It's because this has Superpower, right? Oh, shit. Okay. Remember, we're down to 4 Pokemon. We can't use Sceptile or Wailord here. Alright, so I think... Can this Stone Edge? I'm in a range of like half of all Stone Edge ranges. I'm always Volt switching into Crobat here. And hope that he doesn't Stone Edge. I think if he doesn't Stone Edge, I'm still okay though. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to kill Metagross now though. No Stone Edge. Easy clap. Thunderbolt was a range to kill there. Alright, let's Heat Wave. It's 100 accuracy in this game. I think this brings out Metagross now. I think we win. Yeah, I think we have it. Okay. Just Heat Wave this. It's not going to kill, but Crobat's going to go down, and then we can just finish it with Electrode. We also have Fortress in the back. We're not even going to use Kabutops, I guess. Kabutops, Rock Wrecker, Choice Scarf outspeeds and kills the last Mon here as well. Let's just go Electrode. Earth Power. We're almost there. Just one more, baby. Just one more. It's a Rayquaza, boys. It is a Rayquaza. What do you guys say? Did we go out with a boom? Kabutops is still alive in the back. I think we boom. Let's do it. And that's vintage white, baby! It was an awesome journey. See you, Fortress. GG! It does not kill. Good thing we have Kabutops. Did I equip the scarf, though? I did. And that's vintage white. In the end, it's all Electrode, baby. And that's vintage white. I really enjoyed this game and I highly recommend it if you're looking for a hard ROM hack to use your favorite old gen Pokemon with some Gen 5 mechanics and gorgeous animated 2D sprites on, as well as some ridiculous buffs. I suck at YouTube outros, so have a great rest of your morning.
It's okay to leave your dog